Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is If She So Pleases. This is the second video in my Q&A series. First of all, to start, what I'll do is I'll address the obvious. So I know you'll probably ask for hair details, so I'll go there first. My hair is in a very old braid out. So if you watched my first Q&A video, this is the same braid out. So this is 2 days after the first video. So I mentioned in my first video as well that it was looking pretty bushy. So when I braided it that night and took it out again, it would sort of recover. And as you can see, it kind of has done that. It's still quite bushy, but definitely in better shape than it was in that video. And that video was actually filmed at the end of the day. So in the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. This one is filmed in the morning. So it's in as good of a shape as it is going to be, I guess, for the day. So today we have a new topic and a new question from one of you loves. Thank you so much for your questions. This one is from Vasti, and it's on my wash day routine video. And it says, have you ever experienced thinning? What did you do to combat that? I want to have my hair as thick as possible. Don't we all, Basti? But yes, I have experienced thinning. So I've never experienced thinning as a whole, all over my whole head. But I have experienced it in certain places. And I'll explain why. So the place where I've had thinning for about, it's got to be at least 10 years now, is my temples. So if you watched I think it was my natural hair journey video, either part 1 or part 2, I show a picture of my temples. And my thin temples were unfortunately a result of a terrible salon visit. My last salon visit, I have not stepped foot in one ever since, or let anyone else do my hair ever since. But what had happened is I was a teenager and had just gotten into sort of hair care. I had locks prior to that. I actually found a photo, so I will insert it. I had locks for about 4 years in my childhood, and then I had picked them open during one summer. It took about 2 weeks straight, but I picked them open, and I had, bra strap length hair, which to me felt like it was all the way down to my kneecaps because I'd never experienced hair that length. When I was younger, my hair was about this long and never really got any longer than that. So I ended up picking out my locks, having super long hair, and because I was the same person as I had been my whole life and I didn't know what good hair care was, I experienced extreme breakage. And I mean, within I'd say about 1.5 months to 2 months, my hair was back to about this length. So that's what actually launched my journey into learning about hair care. And when I was doing my research, the first place I found was Kiss. I think it's kiss.com, Keep It Simple Sister. I think Tracy was the owner of that site at the time, and she had this beautiful long relaxed hair, and it felt like everybody else's hair was relaxed too. So immediately I thought, well, the only way to have nice hair is to be relaxed, and I booked an appointment at my local Afro-Caribbean salon, which was not a good idea because she finished my hair with that relaxer. It was burning so much at my temples, and I kept telling her, but she said that my hair wasn't ready, so I had to keep the relaxer in. By the time I left there, I had scabs everywhere around sort of my hairline. I was picking at those scabs for months, literally. It just kept scabbing, I kept pulling it off, and then it kept re-scabbing again, and that just continued for months. And there was hair coming off with the scabs as well. And it was almost like it was like permanently burnt in that area. So up until very recently, I still had quite empty temples. It's just been my way over the years. I just accepted it. I didn't try many things to fix it apart from trying not to have as much tension on my hair. But recently I have decided to make a change, and I had decided to focus a bit more on healing that area of my hair. So I'll show you my temples now. As you can see, they're not completely filled in, but they are nowhere near as thin as they were a few months ago. So I'll tell you how I combated that thinness now. So funny enough, you might be surprised at some of my solutions because they tend to be very simple. I really like simple things. I don't like to sort of, jump upside down with one hand in the air and stuff like that, and in order to get things done. It's not really my style. So I really wanted to make this journey of trying to grow back my temples smooth and easy. I like easy things. There are three main techniques that I use to grow back my temples. So number one is, it's very obvious, I avoided tight styles. So I have a really, really tender head, and you might know this if you follow me on Instagram because I've mentioned it a few times. So any type of pulling or any type of tension gives me an immediate headache, and it puts me in a really bad mood. So sometimes I might start my hair in the morning, go about my day, and about an hour into my day, I start to feel really, really moody and just really angry for no reason. And then the first place my head goes is, my hair must be tight. So I'll go to the bathroom and kind of try and loosen out the bits that are causing any tension, and then immediately my mood will change. So I'm really, really sensitive. You know how girls have those really, really slick hairstyles, like the really slick buns or the really slick ponytails? I've always loved that look, but I've never been able to do it on myself. It just doesn't work well for my hair. So I've avoided tight hairstyles of all kinds, and that has definitely helped me recently. Even though I don't usually use tight styles, I've loosened them even more, and that has really helped me to grow back my temples. So any type of braids that I do at the end of the night for my braid outs, I always make sure to loosen around the area of my temples. The second thing I do is to make sure that I loosen my hair before I secure it in any ponytail holders. So if you've seen one of my last videos I did, the video called How I Do My Twisted Bun that I posted a few weeks ago, that shows that when I secure my hair, I'll always spend time pulling out the sides, especially this area, especially back here, because these bits are really fragile for me as well. I will spend time pulling it back out before I secure the ponytail holder. And then once I secured it, I will spend time pulling it out further, just to make sure that no matter what I do, I'll jiggle my eyebrows, I'll move my head, I don't feel any type of tension. So a lot of people say as well that they find it difficult to do tension-free styles because they feel that it doesn't make them look as pretty, because it doesn't look as sleek. So I completely understand that. I used to feel the same way. But the way that I combat that is, when I do my protective styles, it's on stretched hair. I do it on my hair that's been washed, conditioned, and then braided up. And then when I undo those braids, if you watch that video, the one I just referred to, I don't actually undo the braids completely. So I'll undo them, but I won't separate any of the pieces. So I end up with very flat looking braided out hair. And that acts for me as a foundation for the bun. So I don't end up with that, even if my hair is not tight, I don't end up with a super, super bulky look after I've styled the bun, if that makes sense. For more details on this, please check out the video, How I Do My Twisted Bun, because it will explain what I'm saying a lot more, and you can see a visual representation of that. So that's what I do. The third thing that I do that has helped me with my temples, grow my temples out, is to do separate twists around these areas. Rather than gathering these areas into the bigger braids that I use to set my hair on wash day, I will sometimes cordon them off and do small twists. So I did that in my wash day video, so you can check that out if you haven't seen it. I don't do this all the time, just because sometimes, because the twists are so small, they can get tangled, and then that can lead to some pulling, which is definitely not ideal. But it has helped me to make sure that this area has no tension attached to it. So that's another thing that you can do. So that's the end. That's all I've been doing. I know a lot of you have been leaving me some really lovely messages, especially on Instagram and in my comments as well, about different remedies that I can use to grow my temples back out. And thank you so much. I hear things like onion juice work really well. I've heard garlic and stuff like that. It's just that for me, I'm really simple. I have quite a busy life, and so I try to keep things as simple as I can. So these are the ways that I've used to combat thinning. One thing that I think is also quite overrated or underrated is also nutrition. So I've been focusing a bit more on my nutrition lately. I've been cutting out things that don't necessarily agree with my body. And when I say cut out, I mean on a daily basis, but I do still consume things that aren't good for me, of course, once a week, twice a week sometimes. But for the most part, I try as much as I can to keep my body as healthy as possible. And I'm taking steps to go further as well in that. And I think that has helped me thicken up my hair a little bit in general. Is looking a little bit thicker and it's looking a bit bouncier. So those have been some of the things that have helped me. I hope this video helps you. If you are experiencing thinning or you have experienced thinning and you've solved it, please let us know in the comments. Let's help each other out and basically just build a community here. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to everyone who's purchased one of my hair butters. The link is in the bio as usual, as it always is, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.